Hi. So originally I was going to talk about the Tears of the Kingdom 2 trailer that dropped last week on the Nintendo Direct. And I was going to talk about how sometimes showing less trailers is more rewarding for the players when they finally get the game in their hands and yada, yada, yada. And then something else came up. As you can tell from the bookcase behind me, I like to buy games physically. However, the closest store that I am willing to support is over 20 minutes away. And that tends to be a problem on your gas tank because of gas prices. So I like to get them shipped to my door and get them day one. However, the problem with that is lately, if I order games online, they don't show up at my door day one with pre-order, which is kind of a pain in the ass. And some of you might just be saying, Nate, why don't you just get digital copies? Because I like to get them physically for more reasons than one. I feel like if you're able to pre-order a game, you should be able to play it day one. However, I can't even play it the second day, the third day, or even the fourth day guaranteed. And it's a problem that's been growing since last year. Now, the game in question is Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line, and yes, that's how it's pronounced. It's a combination of theater and rhythm because it's a rhythm game. If you're interested, there's a demo out now on the PlayStation Store and the Nintendo eShop, and even transfers progress over to the full game if you're interested in buying it. Back to the matter at hand, I can't seem to get the game day one, and it's not just with this game, it's with other games. It's with almost every game that's been released this year so far. Companies can't guarantee that my game is going to be shipped to my door day one, even if I'm paying extra money to get it shipped to my door faster. So here begs the question on why I'm making the video. Why can't I get a game day one shipped to me now? Let's talk about it. We may be talking about video games in this instance, but video games aren't the only things affected by these shipping delays. And the first example of that is Amazon. Amazon, with their Prime membership, is making you pay $140 a year, and they say millions of items are 2-day shipping. Now, that's kind of a problem when the last time I ordered something from Amazon that had 2-day shipping, it showed up in about 4 or 5 days. And I'm not even talking about video games. I'm talking about soap. Even if your package doesn't get redirected to the wrong facility, which, by the way, I know from personal experience, both inside and outside the company, you tend to end up still waiting a long time here in 2023 for a game that they already have in their hands to be shipped to you. As you can see by this partially blurred out screenshot, the closest they can give me this game is February 20th, 4 days after the game releases. Ironically enough, Amazon used to be my go-to to get games day one, and now they are my worst case scenario if I need to get a game, because they end up being one of the latest to get the game to me. Oh, and did I mention this is a game shipped under Prime? In my history of ordering games from Amazon, I think I've only had 1 or 2 bad issues. It used to be if they don't know if a game's coming day one, they'll at least give you an estimation of how long after the game comes out that they'll be able to get it to you. However, they don't usually give a date as much as a number of days. And in this case, considering they're giving me a date, it kind of sounds like even though it's a pre-order, they already have it in their hands ready to ship to me, but they're just not going to. At least, not until it's released. Yet somehow, it looks like Best Buy turned out worse than Amazon. At least, Amazon can give you a date. Best Buy, who I tend to have the least experience with, seems to give me the same date of Thursday, February 16th, when the game is supposed to release. However, that seems more like a shipping date instead of a receiving date. In fact, you can see above what's supposed to be in my cart when it says the expected ship date is supposed to be. The worst part about this is they don't even give you a rough estimate of how many days it takes to get shipped to you, depending on what tier of shipping you pay for. In my opinion, that's a little too up in the air to make a pre-order, especially now. Other than driving almost 30 minutes to get to Best Buy, part of the reason I avoid Best Buy nowadays is partially because of their staff. I tend to find them extremely annoying. Once I went in there just to get an SD card and I asked him where the section was for SD cards, guy ended up helping me for 45 minutes straight. I didn't even need help picking one, I just needed to know where they were. And that's actually why I tend to avoid GameStop now too, because I tend to find their staff really annoying. Before I would even get the game in my hands, I used to have them always ask me, do you want to pre-order this? Do you want to pre-order this? Do you want to pre-order this? How about giving me the game I haven't even paid for yet? And then we can talk about what I might want next. I mean, part of the reason I actually switched to ordering games online was because of GameStop. I could order them from GameStop, and I used to be able to get them day one. It actually got phased out a couple years ago, and I might be the reason why, but that's actually a story for another day. Long story short, customer service was not responding to me, so I kind of had to get somebody else involved. Anyways, GameStop. GameStop can't even give me an estimated date of when the game will arrive. And nowadays, when they do, it's usually 1 to 2 days after they say it's gonna arrive when they can give me a date. Here, they just say 1 to 3 days shipping once released. And that's a little late because that could be anywhere between the 17th and the 20th, 21st, and that's not even counting an extra day or two. These are companies that have massive shipping facilities, and they can't even get you a game within the first 3 days sometimes. It's a little ridiculous. And hell, even with all the technology, they can't even give you an estimated date of arrival sometimes. And even then, even though I'm getting it late, I'm still paying $8 to get it shipped to me. Nowadays, I avoid GameStop for anything altogether, unless they have something that is exclusive to them. Like a lot of Ubisoft editions of games, the Ultimate Edition that comes in a physical only is through GameStop most of the time. It's a little stupid. Walmart has the worst guaranteed shipping date, which by the way is February 22nd. My birthday. Yay, happy birthday to me, getting a game late. And that doesn't even include last time I ordered something from Walmart, it didn't even come on the expected ship date. It came a day later and without the pre-order content, which is like the third time I've ordered something from Walmart and the third time pre-order content didn't come with the game, even though they said it would. Hey, guess what? At least you get free shipping with this one, but you don't even get it close to the release date. Yay! And finally, we hit Square Enix's own store, the people who make the game themselves. Just a little tip for anybody who ever orders anything from Square Enix's North American stores, don't pay for higher shipping, because it is not worth the price, and you usually don't seem to get it faster, at least from what I've heard. Usually the only time I order something from them, it's either a special edition, or it's something exclusive to them. Usually, if it's something exclusive, they tend to have a good track record of getting something out on time. In fact, I've even gotten games early before. Ironically enough, that was the last Theater Rhythm game that came out in America. So why does this happen? It tends to boil down to two major things. The first being warehouse competency. If the people have it in hand and they're busy with a million other things, it's not going to get shipped out on time. Shipping companies need to make sure that they know that these releases are available and ready day of. And that leads to the second point, developer competency. There are cases where the developers themselves don't get the copies of the game into the shipping people's hands until the day of release in some cases. This needs to be improved upon. If the developers do have the game and they can get it into the shipping people's hands on time, then the shipping people can get it into my hands on time. Until each of these companies make the specific improvements they need to do the things that they need to do, these guys are going to be missing out on my money. A lot of the times the solution is just make another warehouse and shove a ton of people in it. But that doesn't seem to be the case, especially when people don't want to work warehouse jobs anymore. There's just no point when all you are is depressed and overworked. Why do you think people quiet quit now? So, what do you think about this? Do you think companies should be able to release games day one if they were able to do it before? Or am I just overthinking it and I should just go digital? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, you're already here, so maybe consider subscribing. I'm really trying to improve upon my content, so if you have any critiques, let me know. Either way, have a great rest of the day.